Welcome back at another animated summary. This time we have the book Gifts of Imperfection, written by Brené Brown, summarized by Brody. And in this summary we are going through the following sections. The introduction of Brené Brown in her book Gifts of Imperfection, the three major components that this book is based on, what is the relationship between perfectionism and shame, and what can you gain by knowing this. The last part will be about how can you practically make your life better or worse by showing you the pitfalls by knowing the information above. I saw Brené Brown at a TEDx talk video where she talks about her research that she did on shame, vulnerability, and courage. I found the talk quite interesting and I will leave a link down in the description. Before I started this book, I was a bit biased because I have seen the video, so my judgment was already there, of course. I realized that somebody gave me this book a few years ago, so I picked it up from the bookshelves and started reading. Brene has a PhD in social work and her book Gifts of Imperfection was brought out in the summer of 2010. The first major component is courage. Courage is a way of acting that makes people better around you. The ripple effect that is produced has an effect on others as well. What is a ripple effect? Think of calm water, like a lake, and something falls in the middle of the water. It creates waves around the point where it came down. The effect gets smaller and smaller the further it goes and influences the whole water eventually. So why should you show courage and what can you gain out of it? It allows you to be authentic towards the world. And what does that mean? The person that you are when you feel comfortable in your living room or in the car when you're singing your favorite song. That feeling of being free and being yourself is what courage can bring you. The second major component is about compassion. Compassion takes away the feeling of being alone. It gives peace to the thought that struggling is normal and that other people are feeling the same thing. Sympathy is something different. Sympathy is when people are living with you, but they don't really relate to your story. Compassion is that there is a relationship between the problems or the struggle that you are sharing with somebody. The other person recognizes the problem or the story and shares a similar story or problem with you. And then you know that the person knows what you're talking about. The third major component is connection, and connection is a basic need of human beings. If you look at the Maslow pyramid, it confirms our theory. You cannot strive emotionally, physically, socially, and intelligently. I want to make one comment myself because spiritually wasn't named, so there are some question marks about this part, because some believe that it is possible to strive spiritually alone and some believe that it is not true and you need others to strive spiritually. Let me know what you think in the comments. This part is about connection, and connection has also a lot to do with reflection, celebration, joy, and meaning, where you need others to share your parts of success, to play and to cooperate with people to achieve and building something that we did in the past so much. If you want to know more about human history and what we did by cooperation and building something together, I made a summary about the book Sapiens, which I also leave in the description. That's why I won't go deeper into this one. Let's go into the next part, the relationship between perfectionism and shame. The title of the book is Gifts of Imperfection, so let's see what we can get out of it. The basic idea is to let go of what people think. This is the underlying message. A good question could be, what does perfectionism has to do with what other people think of you? It's the act of doing everything as good as what people expect from you. But actually, this is the standard from the outside world that is made up by your emotion of shame, where people might have felt this feeling and therefore they're trying to avoid this feeling by acting perfect so they won't have to feel this feeling anymore that they aren't good enough. So let's see what you can do with all this information and how to apply it in real life. If you missed the to-dos, in fact, it is telling your story. To to others, but selectively. And I do understand that you don't want to scream your insecurities and your fucked up personal stories from your balcony, but where the book does encourage you to share your story with the people you want to connect with, and therefore create deeper relationships, a feeling of belonging and compassion with these people, to cure any psychological barriers to strive in life and really feel that you are good enough, that you have the right to play and succeed in life. Remember, if you choose to stay in your shell and don't allow yourself to connect, play, and really try to go out into the world, the chances are that you might get depressed. And I know this statement might be controversial, but where the book is referring to is that in order to heal and to feel better about the negativity that is going on into our lives, you need to let go and start living life again. Thank you for listening, and this was Rody. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.